Welcome back to Gordon's Garage. This episode, we're going to make a little addition to the old shop here. And I'm not going to tell you what it is quite yet. You'll have to wait and see. But anyways, it's about October 10th here in Texas. And whoa, man, it got cold on us. It was like 29 degrees out there. Ugh. Anyways, that means I got to break out. If y'all have been following me, y'all know I have my favorite jacket. Here it is, the red plaid jacket. That's right, I broke it back out. It's time. So, anyways, we're gonna take a little road trip here. I first gotta put the T-tops on. We're gonna wash the car, just wipe it down kinda, because I drove it in the rain a few times. And then we're gonna take a little road trip. It's not very far. We're just going here in town, somewhere to pick something up. Y'all ready? Let's go. All right, everybody, had to stop, get myself a little drink. Favorite spot, pack sack, yeah. Anyways, a little pissed off. We're getting there, I promise. Here we go. Okay, everybody, I got a little change of plans here. I did pick up what we get, the addition to the shop, but we also have another appointment to make. So I came home, dropped off the Corvette, jumped in the pickup, and let's head back out. Hey everybody, I just stopped for a second to talk to some people because I've got 2 sheds in the backyard and they're full of stuff. And I'm looking at maybe getting another shed. Maybe this one here with the big double doors, or the one next door that looks like a barn. What do y'all think? The one with the windows? While you're liking and subscribing, right down there, which one of these 2 you think I should put in the backyard? A 3rd shed. I need another one, right? Okay, so we're back home with the new project. The new project is, the new addition, I should say, is a smaller project. It's not a great big one. So I don't want to hold you in suspense anymore. Let's let y'all in on what's going to happen. Little stuff that happens in the garage. I kind of acquire stuff and fix stuff. It doesn't always happen to be the Corvette. So this time, it's right here. It's a old sewing machine. You're going, oh my gosh, how boring. And from here, it looks kind of boring. It really does. I already have a sewing machine. I use it all the time. I paid 20 bucks for it at a pawn shop, and it's a lot like this one. Comes in a case, has a couple of clasp things on the sides, and anyways, I got a new one. Well, an old one, but it's new to me, right? So yeah, let me turn the camera around and pull this top off and let y'all see what I've got. Okay, as y'all can take a look here, I think this thing is cool as cool can get. Even the name on it being Bel Air, like the old 57 Chevy Bel Airs would have. It's even got this great gray, and I call that a peach color, almost pink. Anyway, it's made in Japan, and the motor on the back is made in Belgium. But as you can see, it's a very simple machine. It doesn't have a lot of different switches and stuff that confuse a lot of people. It just has a difference in stitching, long or short. And it just can't get much simpler than that. I believe this might be a reverse button. When you hold it down, it reverses the feed, so you can back up a bit. There's a darn and a sew, a little attachment, a little foot pedal, nice, made of metal. And one thing that's really neat to see is how these old things were put together, wired together. Yeah, right down in there you've got two little plugs, one for the machine and probably one for the light. That is antique as it gets right there. Even this end of the plug is not something people are used to seeing. It needs a little work. I need to clean it up, and the box needs to be recovered. All this paper is starting to peel off. I don't know exactly how I'm going to handle these, if I'm going to put screws through here or I'm going to use rivets of some type, but I will replace all that, or I will try to shine this stuff up. Anyways, really cool, and I'm looking at trying to find some gray like this to cover the box with. With that said, I need a couple things. I probably need to replace this belt. This belt is not the right kind. It's a little bit weird. I think it's supposed to ride up here, not down in that groove. Either or. There's a little spot right here. So you have what's called a bobbin. It's these little bad boys right down in here. One of these suckers actually fit on the end of that. And you will run this string down, I think. No, there's supposed to be a post right there. Just like this one has a post up here, it's supposed to have a post down here, and that string's supposed to run around this wheel and up to this bobbin, and you press this bobbin up like that. There's supposed to be a rubber wheel on here that runs on this, and as this turns, it will turn that, and as it fills up, it will lift up on this, which will unlatch it back there, and that's how you'd fill that up. And once that's full, of course, you put that down in there. If y'all know anything about these things, y'all would know where that goes. Anyways, that is the big reveal, and this is what I'm going to kind of refurbish. I'd like to sew on it a little bit to see if it's sewing correctly, if I need to adjust the tension or something. But other than that, man alive, I'm excited. Really cool piece right here. As I mess with it a bit, I kind of find a little bit more about it. When it says darn, I hit this button and the little grips underneath the foot drop down. So that tells me it doesn't feed the cloth through. When I push sew, the darn button comes back up, and those little grippers, they jump back up like they're going to engage into the cloth and try to pull it. So that's good. That looks like it's all functioning good. Got some little adjustment stuff. I can fine tune that. But I need a wheel here, and until one comes in from Amazon, I'll order something online. I'll need to clean some more of that out, but I think I'm going to use something like this little grommet that goes into a hole in sheet metal to keep wires from rubbing against the sharp edge of sheet metal. I'm going to find one about the right size, and I'm going to stick it on there. I think that'll hold me over for now. Other than that, I think it runs. So let me plug this thing in, and I'll hit this button. We'll see if this thing runs. Okay, so I got the screw out, and I'll take this end piece off. We have a bit of dust in there. Oh yeah. And okay, there is a socket here for a light bulb, and let me unplug it. I'll stick my finger in there. Yeah, it's a little bitty one, and I have pulled a light bulb out anticipating this. This is a little appliance light bulb that goes in the microwave or something. Let's see if this one fits. I don't know. It does not. takes a smaller one than that. This is a T8. All right, so I'll look for a smaller bulb to replace that. Meanwhile, I'll put this cover back on, and that will give me plenty of light down here. Okay. And if I hold it in there just right, I can screw that back in. And that will hold that back together. Okay, so let's plug this back in. So far the light doesn't work because it doesn't have a bulb. Darn, so if I hold this down, this should... It sounds like it's fighting itself. It needs probably some lubrication. I'm going to loosen off this motor, see if it's got too much tension. And maybe this is just how the old one runs. Let me do one thing before I go too much further. I'm going to tilt this over. Look at the bottom side. And I'm just looking to see how rusty it is. It's not real rusty. All right. So it just probably needs some good lubrication. So before I go much further, we're going to have to kind of take some covers off. Probably the top cover I'll try to take off, and this side cover, and underneath, see if I can get some lubrication in some of these parts to see if it'll move a little freer. Okay, I'll let y'all get a peek inside and see what's going on here. A bit of a camalobe here. It is absolutely dry. Let me try to rotate around the assembly. Everything's very clean in there. I love these old machines. That's all cast steel of some type. This is all steel. There's no plastic parts on this other than the cables and the little ends on the outlets. It's really, really great. And I'm noticing something here that I didn't know about this machine. This cover came off the top, but when you look underneath, you see there's 4 plastic little, that is oilers. They sit right in a certain spot to drip oil down in the machine. And that is awesome to know now that I have it apart. And so that also tells me where to drip oil. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to get my little oil can. Let's see if I can find it here. It's hiding. It's over here. My favorite little oil can. It just has motor oil in it, so this is not flammable. We're not going to have to worry about much. We're just going to give it a little. Oh yeah, that's plenty. Not too much. I'm going to run that around a little bit. It needs it. And I am going to get some down in this little hole here. Oh yeah. Where was the other 2 at? Probably right there. Yeah. Let's run that around a little bit. Oh, right here. See that little hole right down in there? I guess I'm down in that. This thing did not spin fast at all. It just seemed really dry, and it already feels a lot better. Okay, I need to get my eyeballs in there. Yeah, there's a couple spots I'd like to oil. I'm gonna do that, and then I'm gonna turn this thing over and get underneath and do a couple clicks of oil. I'll plug it back in, and then we'll take it for a spin, see if it goes any faster. Okay, I got you pulled in a little closer here. We're gonna, I've got it plugged in. Let's grab the foot feed here, and let's see if this thing will go any faster, or is it all bound up. So a moment of truth after oiling all the top sides and the bottom. Here we go. We're just gonna hold on the pedal here in the hand, keep my fingers away from moving parts. Oh man, I'm just barely touching it and it's already faster. I wonder how fast it goes. What do you think top speed's like? Well, let's find out. That's top speed. That made a world of difference. All I need to do is lubricate these parts, and I'm glad I did, because if I'd ran it dry too much longer, I probably would have ruined these surfaces and they would have started eating themselves up. Man, that just hums right along. Let me see if this reverse button right here works. I'm focusing on this bottom part right here underneath the foot, the little feeder. And if I hold it, I'm just checking, make sure I don't have any weird things going on. I'm gonna hold this down just slow speed, and I'm watching the direction of that as I push this button down. It does, it reverses. It's doing a great job. Awesome. So if I push darn and hold it, yes, the feet are too far down there, you can't get to them. Awesome. Okay. Seeing if there's any warm spots. I'm gonna feel the motor back here. Motor's not hot. I realigned this belt. This belt's gonna work for me, but I haven't done anything with this darning. It fills the darn. I'm sorry, it's not a darn, it's a bobbin. It fills this little bobbin up. I still need to get me something on there. I'd like to wipe at this thing a little bit more. There's like a clear coat or something on here that's turned caramel color, and it scratches right off. So we'll see what I can do with that too. Yeah. So I'm gonna wipe this back down, and then I'm gonna turn this, put these covers back on, and let's see if it'll sew a piece of cloth. Okay, real quick here. Before I try and get this thread to go onto the bobbin, I decided I would go ahead and show you an inventory of what all I found in this sewing machine kit. So I found this little apparatus, and it attaches to the foot right here. It's a replacement foot. It's a different type of foot, and it looks like it's for a dual needle, and that's really cool because, man, I'd love to do some kind of French stitching or something. So that came in there with it. I see these every once in a while, but I never knew how to use it. That goes down in there. This came with it. I don't know what that is. If y'all know what this is, down in the comments, go ahead and write down what you think that is. It's kind of cast metal, very light, weird, maybe pot metal or something. Let's see. Got some needles, size 14. All right. And with the size there, there's a little spot right here. It tells you the cotton size, the thickness of fabric, and or thinness, I don't know, and then the size of needle that you're supposed to use, and 14 is right in the middle, so that's a safe bet. Got the little baby blue button. I don't think I'll use. I'll throw it away. And this little rubber grommet. I don't know what that is. It's torn on the back side, but almost just fine on this side. I don't know. It might just be junk. So I'm gonna put that in a drawer with all a 1973 penny I found in the bottom. Woohoo! That's really cool. There were 4 of these bobbins. This spool of black thread, and there's one more bobbin in the bottom here, and it's a little bit different. It might be a little more antique because it has no holes in the side, but I'm gonna fill that up with one of those and put it back in the apparatus back down below. I'm gonna be sewing, and oh, this thing, let's get y'all over there to that. The little rubber wheel, I'm gonna have to order that, but until then, what I have done is taken 2 of these rubber washers and set them side by side and got them on there. The valley in that is round, half round, so it's for an O-ring. This is more like a flat washer. So for the time being, this will work, but just so y'all can see what came off of it was that. it melted. I don't know. The story was that it came out of a storage unit that was not air conditioned, and the thing melted. I can kind of see that. It's just weird. But yeah. Anyways, I've tried it. I've pushed it up on there, locked it in, and I hold the pedal down, and it spins. So that's working. And so I will have to get a bobbin on there, and I need to start the thread around this thing. Let's go, which direction does that spin? That way. So I want to run this around the bobbin a few times, and I'll hold the tail, and let's push that in there. Okay, let's hope this works. I'm going to man the pedal over here on the side. It's not working. Let me try this other bobbin. Something I do notice is there's a little groove right here to hold on to that bobbin, and there's nothing. Oh yes there is. Yes there is. Maybe I'm just not doing it right. Okay, I think I've got it on there. And this runs which way? What, do it again? It's gonna go that way. So yes, I am going to wrap the string around it 3 or 4 times, and I'm going to try my best to get it to latch into. It did not. Why not? There it is. Okay. Well, it looks like I got my work cut out for me. I'm going to have to make that a better connection somehow. I might have to put a washer behind this over here to get this foot to hold that over into that little spot. Nevertheless, it's not too hard to fill one of these. I have another machine. I can fill them up and have them ready. So let's do that. Okay, so I messed around with it quite a bit, and I finally got some thread on here, but as you can tell, it is it loaded one side way more than the other. So there's some adjustment down here on this. It can get scooted back and forth, and I think that's what needs to happen. But meanwhile, that did actually get me somewhere, and this can be put back in the bottom. And if I'm not mistaken, it goes in this way. That string goes like so. Yes, that has drag on it. That's good. You stick this in the bottom there. That's if I can do this. That's actually kind of difficult. Well, you hang the string out the side like that. Now let's see if we can route this string. I hope I'm doing this right. I don't know. Do y'all know which way this is supposed to go? I am going to assume it goes under here, around that. And then that goes through there. This is hard with bad lighting. I'm assuming that's correct. This is going to go through here like that. And now I have to draw the needle up. What am I hitting? You know what? I think it's down below. I think it's this thing. Yep, that's what's going on. I didn't have that in right. Okay, so right there, and this goes this way. it's different than my other sewing machine. So, big difference. Okay, that goes through there, and now I have to get, oh, I don't know if I can do this. Yeah, so you just stick it right in through the needle like that. Let's see if that worked. I got it, yay! Okay, one important thing I did notice is whenever I pulled this bobbin out, it had this gray thread on it. It might be or might not be the same thickness as the black thread we have up here, but if it's a different thickness, it can cause you problems. So we're going to stick all of these down over there, and let's get a piece of fabric to sew with. Okay, so we're going to try and adjust this camera a bit. Let's see what happens here. Yeah, well, maybe y'all can see what's going on. And the fabric I picked up here, I've got a couple pieces of denim. This is blue jean pants kind of stuff, and it's kind of good and tough. I like that. So I'm going to start with this first, and then we're going to move to, this is really soft cotton. This is like your sock. Actually, it's a piece of sock that I'm going to try to sew second. So let's start with the old denim. I'm going to line these two edges up like that. I'm going to start it under the foot like that. Set that down. And this should run. All it needs is the pedal and to plug it in. Plug it in would really help. Okay, it's plugged in. Pedal. And just let it feed itself. And there we go. Now, I'm going to get to the top of there, right there. Pull this out. Do I have something to cut with? Oh, it does. It has there's a piece on the very back that allows you to cut. But I am having a lot of trouble getting, I am going to reduce that. That's better. That's better. There was a lot of tension on the top side. Drag those strings out the back. So what I didn't do is, looking at this is kind of rough, isn't it? Top side, not too shabby. I'm going to elongate the stitching. I want it a little longer. Let's go at it one more time. This time, I'm actually, well, the pedal doesn't reach the floor because the cord's not that long. So I have to keep it up here on the workbench and one hand this. So what happened on this one was the fact that the bobbin underneath had the string hanging out the side, and you're supposed to cycle the needle through once, and this top thread will catch the bobbin thread and you pull it through and hang it out the back side like they are right now. Well, I didn't do that. I just started sewing. So that's why the bottom side looks like it does. So now I'm going to do this again. I'm going to do a hand pedal. I got the pedal right here. Right? And as I push this down, the needle goes. I'm going to do a little better job keeping it straight. Okay. Then you rotate this. You want the needle up and you want this in the upper position. Right there. Now I can lift up the back, pull that out. Oh, that feels much better. I'm going to cut this off with scissors this time. Nice. The bottom side looks okay. Top side looks okay. The stitching kind of is, I don't know what that is. It seemed to run straight. So I went with a larger stitching. Let's try it on the cotton and see what happens. So both these strings need to go to the back. I might need a different foot. That might be one of my problems. Stick that in there, shut it down. Okay, I might need to help this. Let's see if I can do this without stitching my hand. Oh, it does cotton nice. right there, light it up. Cut it with the scissors again. That's really not too bad. That is really not bad. It's there. Let's see how it did. Yeah. Let's see how the denim did. I could do that all day long. Awesome. So we have a working sewing machine I bought off of Facebook Marketplace. That's awesome. Let's see if I'm this talented. I'm gonna throw one more stitch on this. We're pretending this is a real pair of blue jeans. Probably should have ironed that first. Right there. I did a little zigzag there. But other than that, it does stitch really well. I could probably turn this knob over here to get it to where it's doing more stitches per square inch, per linear inch. You see how that works? Huh. Anyways, yeah. We have a working sewing machine. Awesome, guys. So there you have it. The sewing machine works. It seems to do all right. I feel like it's a little too loose down here in the foot. It needs to be tightened down a little bit more. I'm thinking that has something to do with this thing right here. I don't know what that does. So I'm gonna have to get on the internet, try to find some instructions to this thing. And the other thing I'm gonna do is recover this box, the top and the sides. Now these are riveted on. I gotta figure that out. Covering it's not that big of a problem. I can find any wallpaper will do, any kind of contact paper will work, or I can take cloth and just spray adhesive and lay cloth over. Of course, I'll try to peel off as much of this as I can. With that said, I'm gonna upgrade the cover, and then I'm gonna try to figure out this thing, and that's gonna be a wrap on this. Until next time, I have some interior work to do, which is the seats of that Corvette. I might be sewing up a lot more upholstery. Anyways, that's gonna wrap up this video, and it is time to go find a pumpkin patch. Let's go do that. Y'all have a good weekend.